Are you considering dual occupancy? If you are, you're in the right spot. It's certainly growing in popularity, and when it looks this good, you can understand why. We're going to have a quick tour and have a sit down and conversation with Andrew, our developments consultant, to get a feel for what it's all about.
Andrew, what is a dual occupancy?
Good question. Dual occupancy is a bit of a marketing term. For me, dual occupancy is really just multiple dwellings on one block. There could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4, it could be 5. It really comes back to that multi-dwellings on a block.
From your perspective, obviously it's growing popularity as a housing typology. Just your reasons behind why you think that's occurring and the type of customers you've been working with?
It really comes back to, I guess, the buyer themselves and their strategy. What I find with dual occupancy is it gives a lot of options for a site. It's more about maximising that site. So it could be a family coming in and developing a block that they've already owned for 4, 5, 10 years and sort of built up a bit of equity. It could be a downsizer that's had the block a little bit of time as well. Even for the investor, there is still a lot of different options there, be it rent or sell, because they may be structuring the project around selling, but the market might fall down and they look back at that rental approach, or in turn, they could be going the other way.
Obviously, that process has a lot of complexity to it. It sounds simple, but I know through my experience, it can be complex. And how do we actually get our way through that complex journey with planning and councils?
It's a bit of a different approach to the traditional way you would do a development or a subdivision. We take it all the way back to the start and we look at things a little bit more holistically and end to end. So we may be working on the design at the front end, but we've got the planning in mind at the same time. But also from a client aspect, it's reducing the headache. It's trying to hold your hand through that process. We've got dedicated project managers that will work with the client from start to finish, and they'll take them through that journey.
I'd love to hear, Andrew, around what you think the benefits are of having 2 dwellings and the flexibility internally and what you could do with the 2 dwellings. This one that we're in is a good example. Do you want to talk through the differences in the dwellings that we're in today?
For me, the most important question I'll ask a client is strategy. What is your strategy? Because the strategy will really help us give you the right advice moving forward, be it rental, live, so forth. We'll look at that strategy from the outset and try to plan the project accordingly.
I think one thing that's very important for you to kind of expand upon is just the flexibility people do have in the different facade typologies, obviously the internal, interior and the way to customise your internals. So just maybe talk us through what you're seeing, where clients come to you looking for more flexibility in their design approach and what you're seeing customers choose.
Great question. There's a lot of buyers that come in thinking that we are that volume builder, that it is that, what you see is what you get approach. For me, where we sit in the marketplace is between that sort of volume and custom builder. So we definitely have that design flexibility there, but with the standard designs, we put a lot of what we call design options to them so that they can tailor that design to suit what they're after, be it potential changing with the facades, the different facades, having that opportunity, but potentially changing the floor plan. So if they want to make tweaks and those sort of things, we can definitely look at it. We're not clean sheet design, don't get me wrong, but extending walls and playing around with configurations, we can definitely look at accommodating.
What's your favourite facade type?
My facade, I'm probably a Yarra person. I do like the Yarra facade personally.
I had you more traditional than that.
I don't mind the modern, but I'm probably a little bit more of that recycled, darker colour scheme I do like. At the moment, to be honest though, the modern facade is by far the most popular, which is what we've got here. I find a lot of clients find that being in a built-up area, it suits the area really well, and it ticks a lot of boxes for them.
And as far as your thoughts on the interiors, are there certain styles people are picking? What are the upgrades you see being most popular at the moment?
Yeah, look, interiors are often dictated a lot by the facade, which is interesting. Again, it comes back to that strategy. I'm finding that people that are doing this to rent or sell it are trying to appeal to the masses. Definitely are trends. We work pretty closely with the interior design team, just to sort of keep our finger on the pulse there to make sure that, nothing structural is going to limit them when they get to that interior design appointment.
Brilliant. Andrew, thanks so much for this chat. Now I want to have a good look around and see what you've done here. So you happy to give me a bit of a tour?
Let's go, mate.
Cool. So if you just give us a bit of an idea, we're in the Bentley displays, but what the floor plan is and just some of the design options in this floor plan on the side with the darker interior design.
So this is the Collins layout. Living space, kitchen, dining, living space has gotten a lot of positive feedback. It's a little bit different to some of the stuff that's on the market at the moment. This sort of L-shape approach that lets a lot of natural light into the space. People are finding it feels quite large and it's quite functional with how the dining comes into the living.
Definitely. I think that's one of the misconceptions around dual occupancy is people think townhouses and they think tighter floor plans, but 30 square home, there's a lot of living, multiple living areas, and as you said, the two masters provides a lot of flexibility. I'd love to have a look next door.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go.
Walking through into this living area, it's actually quite incredible, the contrast to the one next door. So just give us a bit of an idea. This is the other side of the Collins, but just internally, what the differences were from a design perspective.
Yeah, look, this one's obviously a lot more standard comparatively to the other side. I think what this one highlights though, the base design really does meet the market. It really helps with that natural light. This is the south-facing unit. It's still super bright in here naturally, which is good.
And love the lighting as a feature. How does that work as far as when people are going through their decision making when it gets to the exciting interior side? How does that all work?
Yeah, look, the Sparky didn't love it, but he got there in the end. But look, with your interiors or with any of your selections, we break it up into several appointments. Your internal selections appointment is a completely independent appointment. You'll then have your own electrical appointment, which again is with a specialist that deals just with the electrical consult side of things.
Brilliant. And the integrated fridge, once you've had it, you can't live without it.
It does look nice.
Pretty cool. Nice. And once again, the joinery appointments, that can all be considered
definitely.
On your budget and how far you're speccing the project.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it just comes back to that specification level. You can really differ the units, whether it's design or specification, if you want to go down that path.
Brilliant. Andrew, thank you so much. Really enjoyed the conversation today and obviously the tour of both of these beautiful homes. For those that would like to know more, please go to the Boutique Developments website. There is a complimentary design consultation available if you want to have a bit of an initial understanding as to how your future project could be delivered by Boutique Developments. Thank you.